94.3 Radio 1, One World, your station. My name is BlaaZe, and we are doing fine, positively sublime as the bells chime. You know, we have a superstar online. She started at age 14 in the band The Shaking Trees, and from Shaking Trees to shaking the world as the third most streamed British solo artist on Spotify after Dua Lipa and Adele. Here she is, the one and only Becky Hill. Welcome to the show.
What an intro. You've done your research. Shaking Trees. I didn't think anybody knew about that.
Okay, so, well, I mentioned The Shaking Trees, your first band. Let's start right there, all right? Who was in the band? How did you start it? And more importantly, if you could go back and say something to your young 14-year-old self while you were jamming in the band for the first time, what would you want to say to her?
Wow. Okay. A lot to unpack there. So there was, it was a really strange band. So basically I started writing songs when I was about 13 and I was doing a music course at school. And I'd written these songs, about 3 songs, and I played them to my best friend. And when I went round to her house, she was like, "Oh, Becky, you've got to play those songs to my mom and her boyfriend." So in came my mom and her boyfriend, and it turned out that her mother's boyfriend had music industry experience. And from there, he started trying to record my songs and put them onto tape so he could send them round. But before we knew it, it kind of spiraled out of control. And I was 15 at this point. And then all the rest of the band were just local people that we could find to like play. So there was like a 48-year-old balding drummer. Then we had like the 32-year-old scientist on keys. Wow. And then there was a 26-year-old Russian chef on bass. And we went round playing local areas, local gigs, and I loved it. And it was, you know, over the course of being with them, I'd written about 12 songs with them, like an album's worth of music. Wow. And we did a mixture of covers. And original music. And yeah, it was like the best and most creatively free I'd ever been. And it's weird because looking back now, it was a really nurturing environment for a young teenager to hone in her craft and kind of and just work on being a songwriter. I think if I could say anything now, it would be trust in what you already know. Because I think for so long I spent I've been in the music industry now since I was 18. I'm 28 now. I've been writing music since I was 13. And I think especially when I joined the music industry, I was so keen to rush things and to make everything, you know, why am I not here and why am I not there? And, you know, or I always knew that I would get there, but it's a matter of trusting the kind of gods and you know, persevering.
Wow, amazing. Moving forward to the Brit Awards earlier, you won Best Dance Act, and a big salute to you for that. Having David Guetta come and state, Becky Hill is one of the very rare queens of dance music. How important and nice is it to have your peers and your other artists celebrate your hard work? How does it feel?
Oh, it's amazing. You know, I think I've been listening to David Guetta since I was a little girl. You know, and when I wrote Remember, which was the record that me and him did last year, you know, it was such a moment for me because I knew that he was a fan of mine, which was bizarre to me because I was such a big fan of his. You know, and it was so lovely because it was David Guetta and Pete Tong, who is a you know, an international DJ as well, and I've worked very closely with them both. So Pete Tong does an Ibiza Classics show with an orchestra where he goes around and plays the most classic dance records of all time with a 100-piece orchestra. Wow. And it was so beautiful to, I've been doing that show for, this will be my 5th year now, singing with the orchestra and Pete Tong. So I'd done loads of work with Pete, I'd done some work with David, and to see them both up there opening up the envelope for the best dance act and reading out my name, I mean, there's no feeling like it.
So from auditioning on the first series of The Voice UK to having a Gecko top the UK singles chart back in 2014, the first Voice UK contestant to have a #1, collaborations with Tiesta, David Guetta, and now Galantis. What inspires you and makes you want to wake up and create or write and sing every day?
There's no other choice. Like I'm really bad at everything else. I have 0 talents.
Wow, that's the most honest and the super coolest answer I've heard yet. It's so straight up. Absolutely. We just do it because you love to do it and you have no choice. Wow.
I've got no choice. I love my job. I do. I love my job. I love everything about it. You know, and I often say we're not saving lives, we're just writing music. And I think that's the most important thing, is to have fun with every day that you do it, because, you know, essentially you're giving people a way to escape you know, what they do. And I just think it's a beautiful thing, music.
Wow. Your new song, Run with Galantis, just started getting heavy rotation right here on India's biggest international radio network, Radio 1. For sure, another club banger and chart topper for us. How was this collaborative experience and the writing? What was the process like?
It was so weird because Galantis sent me over a record with a song on it and everything, and I didn't really vibe with the song, but I loved the instrumental. Wow. So I kind of stole the instrumental from underneath the song's feet and wrote Run. And the song kind of became this thing then, and I had the chorus line in my head of run and we run and we run, and that's kind of all I had. And I took it into session with my best friend Emanike, and I sang him the chorus line. He was like, yeah, I really like that. And we kind of built this song up around it. And it came out, and I'm super proud of this record. You know, I really think it was one of my best songs that I've written, and I love it. I really, really love it.
Wow. Tell us more about the behind the scenes of the video. It was shot in South Africa by director Michael Hollick, and I'm from Zambia, so the African connect is huge. I love the fact that the beauty is showcased so elegantly. How was your South African experience?
It's funny you say that, and thank you, because I think I just wanted a really classy, beautiful video. I had a bit of problems with shooting music videos last year, and they weren't coming out how I wanted them to. So I kind of sat down with my record label at the end of last year, and I was like, guys, like, I want to go back to basics here. I just want a beautiful environment. I want to wear some nice clothes, and I want to sing to camera. You know, and I want to have a loose storyline around it. And I'd never been to Cape Town before. Wow. And I fell in love with it. Like, it was so beautiful. I've got friends that are from there, but I'd never actually been myself. So yeah, it was probably my favorite shoot that I've ever done. Michael's an incredible director. He's also shot the next one as well, which is Crazy What Love Can Do with David Guetta again and Ella Henderson. He shot the video for that as well. So you know, it was really good people and a great environment and a beautiful place. And yeah, I think that's one of my favorite videos I've done as well.
Wow. Also, there is a huge tour coming up. It seems to be starting from 28th of May onwards. So what is it like on stage, the energy? How do you prepare, and do you get anxious?
Generally, I'm quite an anxious person anyway. So, I mean, I'd be lucky if I didn't. But I mean, festivals are my favorite time of year. You know, I think festivals for me are some of the most unmatched energy in a crowd that you can't really find anywhere else. It's funny because people, you know, often ask me what are my favorite shows to do. Is it like my own shows where everybody there knows all the words to everything, or festivals? And it's really hard to choose because your audience is different at a festival, because they just want to have a good time. Whereas if somebody's coming to see you at a show, they're coming to get a piece, like a bit of you for an evening. So it's interesting, but I love festivals. My favorite thing about it is you get to go, you get to experience the festival, and you don't have to sleep in a tent or wash yourself with wet wipes. You get to go home and have your own bed and have your own shower. So that's my favorite thing.
I'm going to give you another hard choice right now. So are you more comfortable in a studio with a mic by yourself, writing and creating, or is it the stage and the lights and the energy?
You see, for me, it's 50-50. Like I wouldn't be able to have one without the other. I think that's how I know I'm never like, right now, I'm not going to be happy just being a songwriter. I love writing music, but I love performing it as well. And I think, you know, for me, that's like real key. And if I do too much of one and not enough of the other, I start to get like withdrawal symptoms. It's like I really start, like currently I've been doing quite a bit of writing and I'm really missing stage. In the summer, I'll be doing a hell of a lot of stage and very little writing, and I'll miss it. So definitely for me, it's a 50-50 balance.
All right. Well, we also have this other segment now for your fans to ask questions. And well, it's on my Insta page at BlaaZe. I'd put out a video asking for your fans to ask questions in the comments below, and I would pick a few for you to answer. I also sent you a DM to your Insta page, so you can check that out later. But this is the first one, a really quick run through some of the good questions that came about. Jyotika Bijlani, she says, have you been to India and when are you coming?
I've never been to India. I've always wanted to. I'd love to do Goa and stuff, but I want to do a big tour of the whole thing. I have no solid plans yet, but I would love to come.
All right. And this one from RJ Pijosh, she says, will you marry me?
I'm already engaged. I'm so sorry.
There goes your proposal of Mr. RJ Pijosh. Okay, Shruti asks, what is your strength as a person? I would love to know.
I'm fearlessly loyal.
Wow. Wow. All right. Erica asks, what's been your favorite collab? Hard one.
Probably Wish You Well with Sagala.
Wow. Radio Aniket says, what's your favorite food on a happy day?
Food on a happy day. I love a really good, this is going to sound so boring, but I really love a good salad. Fresh, light salad.
There you go. And a Tripper Tucker says, we need a Becky Hill and BlaaZe collab.
We do. I feel like I just need to put down a verse on that record you've done, and then we're on our way.
Amen. And Rishikesh, Ilahi on radio, and Annie say, waiting to hear this. So thank you all for your questions. And thank you, Becky, for taking the time to talk to your fans in India. Anything you want to say to your fans about Run one last time?
Yes, please listen to it. Thank you so much for having me. I will be over as soon as I possibly can. And I can't wait to see you all. So lots of love until then.
This is Becky Hill on your best morning yet. My name is BlaaZe, 94.3 Radio 1. One World, your station.
94.3 One World, your station. Radio 1.